In the world of WWE, rivalries define eras, but sometimes, what happens outside the ring is even more powerful than any match. Two of the most dominant forces in wrestling history, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, have shared countless wars, broken bodies, and unforgettable moments inside the squared circle. But this time, their confrontation didn't happen under bright arena lights or in front of thousands of fans. It took place in the quiet, sterile walls of a hospital room. What unfolded there wasn't about championships or glory, it was about betrayal, truth, and something no one in the WWE Universe ever expected to see. After the chaos of Clash in Paris, the landscape of WWE changed forever. The event was supposed to be another chapter in Roman Reigns' reign as the Tribal Chief, a display of dominance against the rising star, Braun Breaker. The atmosphere was electric, the fans were on fire, and Reigns looked ready to cement his legacy once again. The match turned brutal fast. Tables splintered, the steel steps were crushed, and the crowd roared as both men pushed each other to their limits. But just when it seemed like the Tribal Chief would overcome the challenge, the unthinkable happened. Paul Heyman, the man who stood by Reigns for years as his counsel, strategist, and manipulator, turned on him. As Braun Breaker pinned a bloodied and exhausted Roman, Heyman laughed at ringside. The entire WWE Universe watched in disbelief as the mastermind behind the bloodline shattered his own empire. Social media erupted instantly. Hashtags like #Heyman Betrayal and #ReignsDown dominated every platform. But according to whispers from inside WWE headquarters, this wasn't a simple storyline twist. Sources claim that Heyman's betrayal was the culmination of months of scheming, a real-life chess game in which both Reigns and Breaker had been used as pawns. Insiders believe Heyman had been quietly working behind the scenes, feeding information to multiple superstars to maintain his grip on power. But what truly shocked everyone was how deep his manipulation ran, all the way back to his history with Brock Lesnar. Heyman and Lesnar's relationship was legendary. For years, Heyman was Lesnar's voice, his advocate, his mouthpiece, the man who helped shape the Beast incarnate into one of the most feared figures in WWE history. Yet, as new reports reveal, that bond began to crack years ago. Rumors say Heyman secretly sabotaged Lesnar's negotiations in 2014, ensuring that the Beast would step away from WWE temporarily while Heyman focused on aligning himself with newer stars. Lesnar never forgot that betrayal, and when Heyman eventually joined forces with Reigns, something inside Brock snapped. It wasn't just professional rivalry anymore, it was personal vengeance. Fast forward to the night after Clash in Paris. Roman Reigns, battered and broken, lay in a dim hospital room. His leg was wrapped, his ribs bruised, and his confidence shattered. For the first time in years, the Tribal Chief wasn't surrounded by the bloodline, wasn't holding a championship, he was alone. Then, without warning, the door creaked open. The sound of heavy boots echoed through the room. Standing in the doorway was Brock Lesnar. The same man who had spent years trying to destroy Reigns now stood silently, not as a conqueror, but as something else entirely. Lesnar didn't say much at first. He simply stared at Reigns, the tension between them thicker than ever. Then, in a low voice, he finally broke the silence. "He screwed you too, huh?" Lesnar muttered. "Heyman's been playing both of us for years. But this time, I'm ending it." For a moment, there was nothing but the steady beep of the hospital monitor. Reigns, clearly caught off guard, met Lesnar's gaze and quietly replied, "You're not the only one who wants payback." In that brief exchange, something shifted. These weren't enemies anymore. They were two warriors who'd been manipulated by the same man, two legends who finally understood the depth of Heyman's deceit. That moment wasn't about rivalry or revenge in the ring. It was about respect. For years, both men had fought to prove their dominance, to stand above the other. But Heyman's betrayal had exposed their shared humanity, and their shared enemy. It was the beginning of something no fan saw coming, an uneasy alliance born out of pain, fury, and mutual understanding. As word spread of Lesnar's visit, the WWE Universe exploded with speculation. Fans dubbed it the Alliance of Vengeance, predicting that Lesnar and Reigns would join forces to take down Heyman and his new protege, Braun Breaker. Some even suggested that Triple H himself might be orchestrating this storyline, teasing a major tag team showdown at Survivor Series or WrestleMania. Imagine it, the Beast incarnate and the Tribal Chief, side by side, facing the man who betrayed them both. The thought alone sent shockwaves through the wrestling community. To understand why this moment resonated so deeply, you have to look at who Paul Heyman really is. For decades, he's been more than a manager. He's been the puppet master behind some of WWE's biggest stars, from CM Punk to Big Show to Lesnar and Reigns themselves. But every puppet master eventually loses control. Reports from backstage hint that Heyman's web of manipulation had grown too large, and his attempt to control both Reigns and Breakker at once finally backfired. His betrayal wasn't strategic, it was desperate. And now, the two men he thought he could outsmart were uniting against him. But can Lesnar and Reigns really trust each other? That's the question haunting everyone from fans to WWE officials. Both men are alpha predators. Both have egos, tempers, and long memories. They've destroyed each other in the past, from WrestleMania battles to brutal cage matches. Their rivalry is carved into WWE history. And yet, as strange as it sounds, this betrayal by Heyman might be the one thing strong enough to unite them. For the first time, their paths aren't crossing because of titles or power, they're crossing because of survival. Backstage reports suggest that Lesnar's hospital visit wasn't spontaneous. It was planned. He had been following Heyman's actions for months, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. When Reigns fell in Paris, Lesnar saw his opening. What looked like compassion was actually strategy, a way to join forces long enough to take down their mutual enemy. But even with that agenda, there's no denying that something real passed between them that night, a flash of mutual respect forged in betrayal. Fans have already begun imagining how this could reshape WWE's landscape. Picture Lesnar and Reigns storming through Heyman's new faction. Imagine Reigns' spear followed by Lesnar's F5, a combination of brute force and precision that no one could survive. The crowd would erupt, the internet would melt down, and the WWE storyline would enter an entirely new era. Triple H himself has hinted in interviews that a new kind of alliance could redefine WWE's future. Could this be what he meant? Still, alliances in WWE are fragile. They burn bright, but they never last. Eventually, egos clash, and history repeats itself. Fans can't help but wonder, when the war against Heyman is over, will Lesnar and Reigns go back to being enemies? Or will they find a new way to coexist as the most dominant partnership WWE has ever seen? Only time will tell. For now, one thing is clear, this hospital encounter changed everything. It turned a rivalry into a brotherhood, however temporary. It reminded fans that behind the theatrics and pyrotechnics, WWE is still about stories that feel human. It's about pain, betrayal, loyalty, and redemption. It's about the idea that even the fiercest warriors can find understanding when they realize they've both been broken by the same hand. Paul Heyman may have thought he could control his two greatest creations, but the game has shifted. The hunter has become the hunted. And with Lesnar and Reigns now united, even if just for a moment, the WWE Universe is about to witness something unforgettable. This is more than a feud. It's a reckoning. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, two men who once defined war, now share a common mission: to destroy the man who thought he could control them both. The road ahead promises chaos, alliances, betrayals, and maybe even redemption. Whatever happens next, one thing is certain: WWE will never be the same again.